Hi, boys and girls. So, in our the vocabulary for this week, I'm going to turn to this page. You did not bring home the book. This is the small reading book, and that's okay. But I wanted to show you the words before I read aloud our big story. So, the first word is common. Common are things that you have the same with someone else. Costume. A costume is something that people wear. It's pretty easy, like Halloween. A custom. A custom is like a tradition that you do. Like a custom in our house is that we have turkey for Thanksgiving. We get a tree for Christmas. Favorite is what you like the best. That's an easy vocabulary word to connect with. A parade. Lots of times I'll go down and Gary and I will take the boys to see the 4th of July parade. It's with bands and things. Surrounded is when you're completely, something is all the way around you. That's around this little girl surrounded by flowers. Travels is when you go somewhere. You can go somewhere in your car or go to the park and travel. And wonder is when you think about something. Okay, so these are the vocabulary words for this next story. So yesterday I read aloud the story and I asked you to tell me, and then we did it together, how they celebrated New Year's Eve in the United States compared to China. And then we made a Venn diagram. So today I'm going to read this story aloud, and then I want you to read it aloud, read it to yourself, and then we're going to work on a Venn diagram. So this is Dear Primo, a letter to my cousin. It's written by Duncan Tonight. It's realistic fiction, that's the genre. That means it can happen, but it was made up. And our essential question is, how are kids around the world different? So if you want to follow along with me, this is page 336 in your big reading book. Okay. So in this story, you'll have a set of cousins. One cousin lives in Mexico, one cousin lives in the United States. This is the boy that lives in Mexico. So the boy that lives in the United States. And they're writing letters to each other. And so in this story, we're going to compare and contrast different parts of their lives, like how they get to school, what they eat for a snack, what kind of games they play. Okay? So, Dear Primo. Score! I just got a letter from my primo, my cousin Carlitos. I live in America, but he lives in Mexico, where my family is from. Maybe someday we'll meet. So he's excited because he got a letter from his cousin, and here's the cousin. And again, use the picture so you can see his house where he's sitting, and he looks like he's out in maybe like a deserty area. Dear Primo, Charlie, how are you? Do you wonder like me what life is like far away? I live on a farm surrounded by mountains and trees. My family grows many things such as maize. We have a burro, pollos, and a gallo. Every morning the gallo crows and crows. So the gallo must be the chicken. I'm using my context clues because I know that chickens crow. And I love this story. It has all these names in Spanish. So a burro is a donkey. Pollos are chickens. Maize is corn. Dear Primo Carlitos, I live in a city. From my window I can see the bridge and cars zooming by. I can see skyscrapers too. Skyscrapers are buildings so tall they tickle the clouds. At night, the lights from the city look like stars from the sky. So again, you have Carlitos and Charlie. You can see how different their lives are. He lives in a big city, and he lives out in the countryside, like out in a small village. Every morning I ride my bicicleta to school. So he gets to school by bike up here. I ride it past the Peros and past a Nepal. So Nepal must be a cactus and Peros must be dogs. And then down here it says, I ride the subway to school. The subway is like a long metal snake and it travels through tunnels underground. So he gets to school by bike, he gets to school by a subway. At recess time, I play football. My friend passes me the ball. I kick it with my foot and I score. I yell, goal! So Carlitos is playing football, but we call that United States, we call that soccer. I play basketball. My friend dribbles the ball and passes it to me. I jump and shoot. The ball goes swoosh, nothing but net. So there's basketball. And I have a connection to this. I went and I watched Tyshawn and Jonah and Camden play basketball, just like the boys are playing basketball here. So again, it's different, the different sports they play. So when I'm comparing them, I can think of, and contrasting, I think about how different they are. When I come home from school, I help my mom cook. My favorite meal is quesadillas. I make them with cheese and tortillas. So he's eating quesadillas. There's his mom cooking. And here is Charlie. In America, we have lots of different foods. My favorite is pizza. I like getting a slice on my way home from school. So there he is getting pizza on his way home from school. Okay. After I finish my homework, my mom lets me go outside and play. In Mexico, we have many games like trampas and canacas. So trampas must be the tops. Remember we played with the tops at when the Allen County Museum came? We did that. And then this must be marbles. They play some kind of game with marbles. My favorite game is papeletos. My friend and I run and run and run a little wind, and we fly papeletos up in the sky. So using context clues, I know that papeletos must be a kite. And I know I'm not pronouncing that right, and I'm sorry. That's a Spanish word for kite. When I finish my homework, I play games with my friends from the building. We play by the stoop. So here they're playing games. They're playing jump rope and hopscotch. In each other's apartments, too. I like going over to my friend's home to play video games. So there they are playing video games. This is Charlie. So Charlie plays outside. He plays jump rope, hopscotch, and video games. In the afternoon, it often gets hot. To cool off, I jump in the small rio that is nearby. So a rio must be a river, because you can see land on either side, and they're going in the river. In the summer, the city gets hot too. I like getting splashed by the fire hydrant when the fire hydrant opens up and closes off the block. So sometimes in big cities, the firefighters will come and they'll open up a fire hydrant and they'll close off the street, and then the kids can run and get in the cool water. On the weekend, I go with my parents to the mercado, an open-air market in the town nearby. We sell maize and tunas, a prickly fruit that we grow. We also buy the food and other things we need. So again, maize is corn. Tunas is cactus. And they're buying some things down here too. And that was Carlitos. That's his market. That's where he goes shopping, which is much different from Charlie. On the weekend, I go with my mom to the supermarket. She brings a list of milk, toothpaste, soap, and I check off the items as we put them out in the cart. In the town, from time to time, they have fiestas that last 2 or 3 days. At night, there are cojitas that light up the sky and mariachas that play and play. So cojitas must be fireworks, and mariachas must be a band, using your picture to help you. So that's Carlitos. So Charlie, in the city somewhere, in my city, sometimes we have parades. People in costumes and uniforms march down the street and everyone gathers around to watch. So there's the parade. There are charras in Mexico that I wish you could see. They do tricks with their cabritos and retas. So you can see they're like cowboys. They're doing tricks with the rope. And then On the streets, you can see break dancers do flips and spins on their heads. So this is Charlie's on the street. People dance to music. And then Carlitos, people are doing like cowboy-like type things. In Mexico, we have so many traditions, such as Dia de las Muertas, the Day of the Dead. That's celebrated, I think that's around Halloween. In the United States, my favorite tradition is attending the December parties called posadas. At the end of each posada, there's a piñata filled with fruit and sweets. When someone breaks it, we all get to jump in. So that's his, in the United States, that's his, no, I'm sorry. This is still Carlitos. This is in Mexico. And this is Charlie's. In America, we have traditions too, such as Thanksgiving, where we eat turkey. I think a lot of our families do that. I know I do that in my house. And Halloween, where we dress up and go trick-or-treating. But I have to stop writing now. My mom just told me I have to brush my teeth and go to bed. And it says, I have an idea. So here's Carlitos, here's Charlie. So they both have an idea. My primos should come visit me. My primos should come visit me. So they're talking about going to visit each other so they can learn about each other's customs. And you can see this is Carlitos' house. It's his bedroom. This is Charlie's house. And that's it. So what I want you to do now is I want you to open up your book and I want you to reread this story to yourself. Sorry, I lost the page. It is on 300, starts on 336. So go back through and reread this. And in your spiral notebook, if you could make a list of the way Carlito does things and then the way Charlie does things. And then think about that. And then if you can go on Schoology, there is a worksheet that you can try to fill out, and we'll see how that goes today. So today for reading, I want you to read Dear Primo. In your spiral notebook, I want you to make a list of how Charlie does things, like how he gets to school, snacks he eats. Go through each page. And then how Carlito does things, how he goes to school, snacks he eats. And then go on Schoology to see if you can answer the questions on the paper, on Schoology. Okay, have your parents dojo me if you have questions. All right, guys, I'll see you.